Now, coronavirus is probably the most used word in the media since the beginning of the year, with more than 100,000 cases confirmed worldwide. Global panic has set in, but how do we separate the facts from the fiction? So today, we are looking at the topic from all angles, and we've brought in the experts. Joining us now is infectious disease specialist, Dr. Emille Reid. And of course, if you would like to add to the conversation, please make sure that you head over to our social media platforms and send us your questions using the hashtag Afternoon Express. Hello, Doctor. How are you?
I'm very well. And yourself?
Lovely to have you on the show. Something that I wasn't
much.
aware of was that this actually isn't the first coronavirus that we've had. Coronavirus is apparently the name given to a whole lot of different viruses. So what is the coronavirus?
Well, the coronavirus is what we call a zoonotic disease, which means it gets carried around by animals. And as you may be aware, you also had previous outbreaks of viral diseases, specifically coronavirus, that was similar to the one we have now. For instance, SARS, way back in 2002, and then also MERS, which was also a coronavirus infection in 2012, 2013. And both of them originated in different animals, whereas SARS originated from cats and MERS originated from camels. The new one that we're referring to at this moment in time is called the SARS-CoV-2 virus, and it causes COVID disease, as people call it. And the problem is that it's completely different than the previous virus outbreaks, not because it's a coronavirus, but also originated in animals. We actually don't know where it really originated, whether it was fish or bats or wherever.
Yeah, I read pangolins and bats.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we at this moment in time, we are not sure. But this is a brand new, novel coronavirus that is causing havoc.
It is causing havoc. I mean, there is literally worldwide panic. We're seeing countries like Italy has shut down. Harvard University has now taken all of their classes online so that people don't have to come into lectures. Coachella's cancelled. Should there be such reason for such panic? I mean, are we going to be okay? I mean, I read an article recently saying that it's just a little bit worse than the flu. How bad is it?
Yeah, I think there's always reason to panic. But I think what's been happening nowadays have been mild hysteria. To say the least. And if one compared to the common flu, obviously with the flu we have way more cases of influenza on a yearly basis than what we have corona infections. And also if you compare that to the flu, you find that the fatality rate or the death rate is actually more than that of the flu. So currently we estimate around about 2 to 3% of people die due to the novel coronavirus infection, as opposed to 1% with regards to influenza. And also, if we compare the amount of cases that we've seen with, for instance, SARS, we had a total of about 8,000 cases, whereas currently with COVID disease, we are, I think, around about 106,000 cases. So this is massive. And in comparison to SARS, which had a sort of fatality rate around about 5–6%, as opposed to MERS, which had a much higher 30% fatality rate. Currently, with this novel coronavirus, we're sitting between 2 and 3%.
Now, I read that it's a respiratory virus. So what does that mean? Like, imagine I'm walking through an airport and somebody coughs on me and then I get it. What are going to be the symptoms, and how far gone or how far along the line do I figure out that I actually have it?
I think at this moment in time, we're still learning a lot about this new virus. But what we do know, that initially transferred from an animal to human, and now there's human-to-human transfer. Usually droplet transmission, which mean coughing, sneezing, etc. So if you are a meter and a half away from somebody coughing or sneezing, you should be safe.
Yeah.
And what we don't know and understand about this virus is how long is this virus airborne? Does it sit on our cell phones? Can we carry it in our on our hands, etc.? And the answer is, in all likelihood, yes.
Okay.
And you did see a lot of people wearing masks wherever they go. We're actually not quite sure what the efficacy rate of those masks are, because we know you can also transfer the virus through your eyes, touching of your nose, etc.
Okay.
So wearing a mask does not 100% actually protect you from acquiring the virus.
How quickly does this spread, though? I mean, if you're not going to be wearing a mask and stuff, something simple as me touching a table that somebody had touched, they've got corona. I mean, am I going to get it necessarily?
Well, the answer to that is we don't know.
Okay.
We do believe, however, that those people that are infected, at least those with flu-like symptoms, at least, are people who can transmit the virus to somebody else.
Okay.
And usually it's a direct sort of spread rather than contact, cell phones, etc.
Yeah.
So it's usually a direct spread. And how long the virus is surviving in the air, we don't know. Right. But usually, looking at the previous epidemics, probably not.
Okay. So until we know more, I'm going to stop eating bats and kissing frogs.
Yes, exactly.
All right, let's find out at home what you had to say on our social media platforms. All right, let's see what social media's got for us.
Yep, we've asked you if you have anything else to add to this conversation. And we've got Matapelo, who said, what are the signs and symptoms that one has the coronavirus? What safety precautions can one take to prevent being infected with coronavirus?
Well, easy. The important thing is that you might just have normal flu if you have the coronavirus infection. Yeah. Mild flu, and only a small percentage of people actually become extremely ill. Okay. Coughing, developing respiratory distress, pneumonia. And we do know that those people are usually classically the vulnerable individuals. Okay. Above the age of 60, 65, those that have chronic diseases like lung diseases, diabetes, or previous tuberculosis, and even smokers have a higher risk.
So if you've got a strong immune system, you're going to be fine?
Yes.
Okay. Pali, we okay?
That those immune systems are all the way up. We've got Tulega here with another question. She asks, how can we protect our kids from the school environment, which is very important?
Well, I think the important thing is, and people don't believe that, it's usually the history of whether somebody has toured anywhere that has a coronavirus infection. For instance, if people have been to Italy, if they have been to China, that's probably the most important thing to know, because people that have been exposed should not be around other people, and they should be quarantined for at least 2 weeks. Okay. So knowing whether somebody else has coronavirus or not is actually extremely difficult, because the symptoms just overlaps with the flu.
Wow. Thank you very much for coming through to us today, Doctor. And
Thank you very much.
We're going to be back at the end of the show chatting more about it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Prevention is always better than cure. Now, the conversation continues after the break. If you have any questions for our experts, just head over to our social media platforms and make sure to use the hashtag #AfternoonExpress. See you after the break.